Kind of a shorter episode. It's very late and I don't have too much time right now, but I want to just jump in here and give another weekly update in my efforts in coming back to Eve and how things are going. And I've taken another step here and reactivated another account. So now I got two accounts in Eve, and this one is in fact my main account, and that's Alexandra. This is by far the oldest, and she is at or near a launch character of EVE Online, so I'm very proud of that. And is my primary and dedicated combat pilot that I've sunk pretty much all my skills into combat. And this character, she has been through everything. She was there at the start of EVE. She's been there in some early Alliance warfare. Kind of left EVE a little bit, came back, joined ISS, the Interstellar Starbase Syndicate Navy, and that was my first real taste of alliance-wide PvP. And then went around nullsec for a while, inside several alliances. One went up north for a little bit, but basically most of my PvP time has been in the southern region, around Ketch, some Curse, and some things like that. So the thing I really like about Alex, but also one of the things that kind of pulls it back, or Alexandra, is the fact that her skills have been really focused on, I would say, more alliance type of capabilities, namely the big capital ships of carriers. She's maxed out Caldari carrier, fighters, all that good stuff, but same as the old adage of being dressed up and nowhere to go. I'm kind of dressed up and kind of nowhere to go here because now I am a solo pilot, at least at the moment. So I do have a carrier-ish. Namely, I have a Minakawa, which is not a carrier anymore. It's a Force Auxiliary ship. And it was there when they did the conversion. So I used to have a Chimera. And then when they brought the Force Auxiliary ship, they split it. And anyone that had the logistics module on their carrier got the Force Auxiliary ship, and the ones that did not retained their carrier. And I was out of game at the time, so I came back, loaded up my hangar, and next thing you know, this ship that I've never seen before suddenly comes out, and it's definitely not a carrier anymore. It's one massive, oversized, bulked up logistics ship. Okay, well, that's cool. I have no use for it because I'm not an alliance anymore. If I did join alliance, I don't know if they're running shield doctrine or they're going to run armor doctrine, so I have no idea. But anyways, it's been gathering dust for years. I don't know if I ever use it, but we'll see. Mainly, I've gone back and gone to subcapital type of ships. So battleships. Came to find out that I was actually lacking a few things on the MR side. So the large beam laser specialization, I got that fired up. Signature masking, that's a new skill that must have come back while I was out, which is interesting for battleships, so I'm getting that cranked up. And I got a few other things, a few other plans I want to do with Alexandra. If I do go back into Corp or Nullsec type of activity, this will be the character that I'm doing it with. Mace be my training character. She's doing more trades. Things are finally starting to take hold, and she's been kind of getting some rotation going on with her trades. So that's nice to see. So nice to see things that start to work. And that being said, I released a video 2 days ago on Monday going through some things about trading and some of my observations about trading, particularly about setting up a remote buy order, because I saw no tutorial or even any advice on how to do that, or even the correct mechanism to do that, which is a little bit hidden. It's a little bit of a right-click menu that I think most traders don't know about, because most traders don't do remote buy orders. They do station trading, because that's what all the videos in EVE are about when it comes to trading. You put in trading in EVE Online, it's station trading after station trading after station trading after station trading. And so I've been trying to break out that, hey, there's actually a lot more out there than station trading. Yes, station trading can generate an enormous amount of ISK via speculation. And there's quite a few very good guides on how to spot speculation. But is that the only type of trade that's out there, or even enjoyable? It's ironic that I'm saying this because we're actually in G to 4.4 right now, which is the main trade hub and the capital of New Eden. Looks very, very nice. And I'm here in this Cormorant, which went through redesign and looks much better than what we had before. I do like this design, by the way. Speaking of new design, today is the big day. Eve Legion has just released. Now, I'm not going to give a breakdown on Eve Legion. One, I'm just coming back into the game, so there's a lot of changes to things that I'm not even aware of that came from before. So it would really require some studying on my part to really grasp the in and out. And frankly, I've not used them. I don't have any personal knowledge with them, so I can't really speak too much about it. But there are some features I do want to point out. And the one that really stands out to me at first is the map. So this is the new map, and I really have to hand it to CCP. This is a much nicer UI and layout than what was there previously. What was there previously was a bunch of drop-down menus up here along the top, and now they're sorted in these sub-menus here down the bottom. I think this is a much better UI than what we had before. And once you know where you need to get your statistics or other type of information, it's 2 clicks, and you're not going through drop-down menus. So for example, I want to go statistics, ships destroyed in the last hour. Yeah, it's already there. Boom, there it is. I want to go to ships destroyed in the last 24 hours. There it is. If I want to see the geography and as the security status, there's the security status. If I want to see by region, this breaks it up by region. Really, really nice. And of course, you have all your personal information, corporate information. You can look at factional warfare and see where the battle lines are factional warfare. Of course, over here is the Gallente Caldari War, and over here is the Amarr Minmatar War. It always gets me how big this region is for the Gallente Caldari War, and how here it's so much smaller. Like, what happened is we got this pocket here, and now it's probably quite a bit denser. But that doesn't compare to size to something that looks like this. But this looks to be a little more of an intimate battlefield than maybe this one that's all spread out here. So, you know, there's probably pluses or minuses. Did faction warfare quite a while ago. This was during the old system, following the Gallente side. It was a lot of fun. I was with a corporation called Justify Chaos. Great time. Great time. I consider that some of the best PvP I had was being in Just K, fighting in factional warfare. And that may be something I'll dive into here fairly soon, you know, if I want to get back into PvP. So right now I have a Discord server, but it's not a Discord server for EVE Online. It's actually a Discord server for Guild Wars. Guild Wars 1, by the way, although we do have some Guild Wars 2 as well. And I've gotten a pretty good community there going there. It's becoming very active. I'm very proud of it. But I did invite some of the Guild Wars players, if they want to try out EVE Online, come on in. I'll give them a corp they can join, and I can teach them the ropes. Because this is a very, very, very deep game. But so is Guild Wars. So is Guild Wars 2. I mean, if they're willing to learn Guild Wars and Guild Wars 2, they can take the time and learn the depth of EVE Online. Although they're 2 very, very different games. They're very different animals. And I think that's a good thing, because it gives a good contrast to each other. If I'm playing EVE Online, I am playing a very different game than Guild Wars. Guild Wars is much more of kind of like a Diablo Phantasy Star Online, the original Phantasy Star Online type of scenario where you have instance type of situations, you have closed groups. It's almost kind of a Magic Gathering. It's very, very type unique with its skill set. And I really enjoy it, and I still really enjoy it. EVE Online, completely the exact opposite. It's open world, sandbox, almost kind of a slice of life MMORPG. A lot of people get caught up and think, how do I win at EVE? EVE is not a game you win. EVE is a game that you live. All right, so you have to come in a very different mentality. If someone comes in from, say, World of Warcraft, Guild Wars 2, and then they take this kind of vertical progression of, okay, I need to get the best armor, I need to get best skills, I need to get ascended or legendary or purple or whatever type of equipment, and then I'm going to be that much more powerful. If they bring that mentality in EVE Online, well, we've seen the kill mills of what happens. It's someone in some highly blinged pirate ship, like a pirate battleship with all named modules, and they go out there and they get instantly blapped the moment they undock. And lo and behold, that ship and all that beautiful modules don't respond. They're back in their starter frigate. And they quit. Of course you quit. It's just you need to know what game you're in. This is not a game that you strap on a piece of armor and it comes back to you when you kick the bucket. This is a game you have to do real risk management with. Not saying that there are not scenarios where you could have a pirate battleship and named modules, and that there's not a scenario where that could be very, very effective. But it's nice to have a fleet around you, and you're part of a bigger task force, and you're not alone, and if it's going to be a fight, it's going to be a straight up fight rather than being a gank. And that's how I've always approached PvP. To me, PvP is something where I don't mind losing. I don't mind losing ships. I don't mind getting potted, as long as at least it was a stand-up fight. All right, we fight, we lose. Hey, GFs in local, we go back. We'll come back later. All right. I don't like is getting just absolutely ganked, caught out in the open and ganked. For me personally, I don't like it. I'm not saying it doesn't happen. Of course, it's happened to me several occasions. But that's not a fight, though. That's not a real battle. It's not a contest. That's just being ripped to shreds. And I understand that's not, always a fun thing. I can be hard on myself. I will say that if I get caught out and I did something stupid or I did something wrong, I don't blame the gankers. They did what they were doing. I don't blame the priors. Okay, I blame me. I blame me because I'm the pilot and I made the wrong call, or I didn't take care of something that I should have taken care of. Now, if there are situations where it was unavoidable or it was just a legitimate accident, then I'm not so hard on myself. But if it's something I should have known better, I can be pretty hard on myself, because I need to learn. I need to be a good pilot. All right. Well, they're shutting down the server here in about 15 minutes, so I'm not going to go on and on and on. But this new map layout for Legion, I think, is very, very nice. It's a big improvement. I love the UI, and congratulations to CCP on this upgrade. There's a lot more upgrades. For example, well, not the map. I want to take a look at the regional market. We have some new ship art. We even have some new ships. I was looking at, of course, the brand new Angel Dreadnought. Looks very, very nice. Even looks like the angel horns here. Very interesting aesthetic. Of course, none of them are built yet, but probably in about a week or so or two, we may see the first ones start coming out of the shipyards. Very pretty ship. Got some very interesting bonuses. It can actually move in siege mode. So that's pretty cool. I always like things that are unique. Pirate ships are extremely expensive, but if they can do something that's unique, that's only unique to them, sometimes they can justify their outrageous costs. But basically, they're massive. It's sinks and EPs and things like that. But for the rest of us, the unwashed peasants down here, we do have some new art for actual straight line across the board cruisers. So right now we have new art for several cruisers. First one being the Thorax. So this one looks pretty nice. I mean, so the engine layout is updated, mostly the same, but it looks like more, I don't know, it looks more sleek, but definitely has more curves and lines. So it actually looks a lot more aggressive than what it did before. Before it was much more smooth. Now you have kind of all these ridges going down it. That looks really, really neat. Looking forward to flying this. And this is not just the Thorax cruiser itself, it's also its variants. So that would be the Phobos. Same thing here. The Serpentis Vigilant, scary ship, both looks very nice, and the Deimos also looks really good. So it's not just the cruiser, it's also their variations. All right, next up we have the Sith. Yeah, so the Scythe. Yeah, Scythe updated. Engine module looks much better. The front, they keep the same artistic points of the previous design, but they definitely look much more modern, updated. I do like these, by the way. Again, that's the Scythe. The Scimitar logistics ship, which looks really, really cool. And that's kind of a fin pointing forward. Very different than before. And the Scythe fleet issue. It's a very interesting ship. I just heard one time this was the least selling ship. I don't know if that's the case anymore, but it does look fun to fly. And Amarr, I believe it was the Muller that got updated. I'm not sure exactly. But yeah, that looks really, really nice. And the Caldari, I'm not sure which one it was. Not sure they did the Caldari. I think all the Caldari have been updated. I know the Osprey's been updated. The Mo's been updated. Caracal. Yep. Looks really nice. And the Blackbird got updated as well. Yeah. So the new art assets they're bringing in definitely look really, really good. Because some of these ships have not been updated for many, many years, even though they still look today. All right. So that was just some of the stuff that has come out in Legion. Definitely looking forward to playing with it. Definitely with the new cruisers. And yeah, I have to think of what I'm going to do with my combat pilot. One of the reasons I reactivated my combat pilot because I thought I would have some more people come from Guild Wars that would be interested in learning how to play EVE Online. Or starting out, learning from a frigate and go from there. But I didn't have any takers, so I think I kind of jumped the gun on this one. I kind of reactivated the account before I knew there was interest. I had heard there was some interest. That's why I did it. One or two people wanted to maybe, hey, check it out. But I think they kind of changed their minds. And they got other games on the horizon. So anyways, again, I'm going to cut this short. This is what's been going on for this week, my kind of journey back into EVE Online. If you like trading, feel free to check out the trading video I released on Monday. Yes, it is kind of niche and going into the technical topics. I did put chapter bookmarks this time, so you don't have to scroll through the whole thing trying to find something, which is something I'm going to do in my guides in the future, particularly with training. And I'm thinking about doing guides on some other topics. Mining is one I think I'm going to dive into. PvP. I need to get back into it and try and find some fights and get some exposure back to PvP because yes, I have done quite a bit of PvP, but that was quite a while ago, so I'm out of date on a lot of that, and I want to see what I can do with that. I actually bought a catalyst for my Meisui, my trading alt, fitted it up, went out looking for fights, and of course, as it always is, can't find anything. When you're a industrialist, trader, a miner, you get fights no problem because you're the victim. When you out go looking for one, you can't find anything. Suddenly the universe is completely dead quiet. It's just how it goes. So maybe finding a guide on how to find a fight is something in order. I don't know. Fly out a hauler with a whole bunch of stuff in it. You'll get a fight, or a very short one. So, but like I said, I don't like being ganked. I like a stand-up fight. So anyways, I'm going to leave it here for this week. Feel free to let me a comment. Let me know how things are going. And I have also made some corrections to the video quality here. Again, I'm still using my mic on my headset. But I did add a gain to OBS. So the mic volume is significantly adjusted by about 10 decibels. And so it should be coming across a little bit louder and clearer than it was before. So hopefully this is an improvement. So anyways, thank you everyone. Take care, fly safe, and hopefully I'll see you soon.